Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and hope you are doing really good. In the previous videos, we tried to talk about what is data engineering and we tried to understand what is data engineering life cycle. And then we also tried to understand the various stages involved in data engineering life cycle. We talked a little bit about data generation or data sources, and then we talked about data ingestion, data storage, and data transformation, and data serving and data consuming. And we also, of course, touched up a little bit upon on the undercurrents involved in the data engineering life cycle. That is basically data architecture, data management, software engineering, and orchestration, and all different stuff. And then we also, of course, try to talk about what does it actually take to become a data engineer? Like what kind of skills one need to become data engineer from business skills point of view and from technical skills point of view and stuff like that. So in today's video, we'll try to understand the relationship between data engineering and data science. So we'll try to answer the question. I'm sure like many of you kind of would have got that question many times. And the question is basically, where does data engineering fit in with data science? So let's try to decode that and try to a little bit understand it. Okay. So let's try to understand where does data engineering fit in with data science? Yes. So if you guys already know this, then it's really nice. But yeah, if you don't know it, please don't worry. Okay, we'll try to uncover it and explore this. From a little bit also from psychological point of view in today's video. Okay. And before going into our discussion, I'll try to define or I'll try to kind of say what data engineering is all about again, in simple words. So, so data engineering is all about converting the raw data into useful data. Okay. So that's what data engineering is all about. And then useful to whom? Useful to basically business people or companies or teams who are in a position to make decisions about who are in a position to make decisions that can improve the um, performance of the product or improve the revenue of the company or improve the profits and optimize the processes and all the stuff like that. So that's what data engineering is all about, right? So and most of the time, so if you try to understand again, coming back to our question, like where does data engineering fit in with data science? Um, So most of the time, the main purpose of any data team's existence, like it can be data scientist team or data analytics team or data engineering team, whatever the data team it is, the main purpose of any data team, it's all about making this final thing, which is making the data useful to business people to make the decisions, right? So So let's see how our data engineering and data science teams are related, or both domains are related. So in the life cycle, basically, most of the time, uh, data engineering teams they kind of sit in the upstream. Okay, if I have to draw like this, just bear with me for a minute. So data engineering teams, they kind of always sit upstream. Okay. And then in the downstream, you'll have data science or analytics teams, or business intelligence or managed information teams, all the teams, right? So so these teams will be basically there in the downstreams. Yes. Yeah, so that's how it is. So data engineering teams are mostly like are always in the upstream, and then data science teams are basically in the downstream. Okay, and then so data engineering teams, what they kind of do is basically they are kind of responsible for you know collecting. Sorry. So So most of the time, data engineering teams are basically responsible for, you know, collecting the data from different sources or and transforming it and storing it. You know, and here it can also be like cleaning, standardizing, and all that stuff. Or enriching as well. Enriching in the sense like joining with all the different data sets from different sources to make the data meaningful. Okay, so so that's what data engineering teams are mainly responsible for. And there will be, and you might get doubt like they will be collecting from where, right? They will be collecting from data sources. Okay. So they will be collecting from data sources or from where data is getting generated, basically. Okay. And then once they do all this transformation, cleaning, applying business rules, and enriching it, and then store it into some place, um, then that's when basically the data science or analytics or BI or MI teams come into the picture. And then what they do is they do um, different kind of things again, like data analysts do different thing and data scientists do different thing, or BI or MI teams do different thing. Or basically in BI and MI teams, there will be like some data scientists or analysts, or maybe also like data engineers, depending on the structure of the organization. So what they kind of do is, so they will provide, they will drive or derive insights from the data in a different way. Okay. They will derive insights from the data in a different way. For example, data science teams, what they do is they will train their machine learning, try and tune and run their machine learning algorithms and models on the data. And then into the future, they will give some kind of predictions and stuff like that. Okay. And then analytics teams, they will look at the mainly historical data or past data as well. And then based on that, they will kind of identify SQL, they will identify some trends by using maybe SQL queries or Python or something like that. And maybe build some kind of reporting out of it and then share it with the customers so that customers can see the data, or business people can see the data and then kind of make decisions that will improve the performance of product or optimize the processes, or also thereby improving the profit or revenue and all that stuff. So normally this is how they fit in. So some people argue that data engineering is actually sub-discipline or subset of data science. But I don't think that's actually true in my opinion. So they are actually distinct from each other, but of course they kind of complement each other, and they also kind of have like overlap in responsibilities. Yeah, and that's mainly it. But then we'll of course try to understand a little bit more about it from the psychological point of view. So that is, we are going to look at we are basically going to now in the next step we are going to look at, there is one principle in psychology called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So we'll try to little bit touch upon that psychology principle, and then we'll move to actual data science hierarchy of needs. Okay, we'll try to move to data science hierarchy of needs. Okay, so now let's talk about them. Let's try to talk about Maslow's principle of psychology first, and then let's see, or let's try to form the relationship between data science and data engineering using Maslow's principle of psychology. So Maslow's hierarchy of needs, what it basically says is, so it actually explains a lot about us humans and also about human nature and human behavior. So let's try to understand it. So for humans, so so I'll try to explain the pyramid first, and then we'll try to discuss what the pyramid is all about, and then of course we'll move on to the data science, actual data science hierarchy of needs, and try to explore the relationship of data engineering and data science from that perspective. So, so this is basically Maslow's hierarchy of needs pyramid. Okay. So what it says is, so Maslow's hierarchy of needs, what it says is, in order for humans to perform any higher order tasks, okay, in order for humans to perform any higher order task, we should first meet our basic needs. Okay. So any higher order tasks are kind of dependent on basic needs to be met. Okay, so once we have our basic needs met, then only we can reliably and stably focus on achieving the higher order tasks. So that is what Maslow's principle says. Now let's look at the example. Okay, now let's look at the actual pyramid. So in pyramid we have five tiers. Okay, you can count it from top to bottom or bottom to top, but five tiers, and it generally moves like this. Okay, so at the bottom, we have physiological needs, and then here we have safety and security, and we here we have love and belonging and self-esteem. Okay, and then the final most important thing is self-actualization. Okay, these are the various tiers in Maslow's hierarchy of needs pyramid, and basically this is the highest point, right? Okay, this is the highest point, or basically these two. Okay, these two are the highest points that we want to achieve. Any human wants to achieve. Okay, and what they are about? So they are about self-actualization and self-esteem. Self-actualization is basically morality, creativity, spontaneity, acceptance, experience, purpose, and meaning and inner potential. And self-esteem is about confidence, achievement, and respect from others. And then the need to be like unique individual. Okay, those are at the top of the pyramid. Okay, so So, and I think that's what like every human kind of wants to achieve, right? We want to be like spontaneous and creative, and then we want to experience purpose, and then we want to experience, meaning in our life, and then we want to fully explore our inner potential, and we want to have confidence, and we want to achieve something in life, and we want the respect from others, um, and then um, and most of the humans, whether one agrees or not, we always, of course, want to be like unique. Okay, and that also kind of makes us feel valuable, right? But what Maslow's principle says is, in order for achieving like or focusing on any higher order tasks, first we should have our basic needs met. So these are kind of like higher order tasks or higher order things, okay? And then at the bottom, we have love and belonging, safety and security, and physiological needs. And in the full bottom, we have physiological needs. Okay, so let's look at the physiological needs. So first, we should have like air to breathe. We should be breathing properly. We should have food to eat, and then we should have water to drink, and we should have shelter to stay, and clothes to wear, and we should be getting proper sleep. Okay, and then only we can move on to other tiers in the pyramid, right? Once we don't have, food and water and shelter and clothing and sleep, then how can we focus on like basically exploring our inner potential or meaning? And then how can we be like spontaneous at all? And unfortunately, like for us Indians as well, in some places or in many parts of India, for us, we have different backgrounds and life is a little bit hard. And for most of us, unfortunately, or also many people across the world, also, of course, um, many people are kind of stuck at the bottom of the pyramid itself, right? We don't have many people don't have enough food and water and shelter and proper clothing and proper sleep as well. Then, if we don't have all that, like, how can we focus on other parts of the pyramid, right? So that's what Maslow's principle actually says. So if you want to focus on, the higher parts of our higher pinnacle of the pyramid, we should have our basic needs met. So which is love and belonging and safety and security. We should have proper employment. We should have proper food, water, and sleep and shelter, and then proper health, proper employment, and then proper connections in the family. Then only we can go on to achieving the higher things. Now let's try to understand the same, you know, um, in the data science. Okay. Now let's try to look at data science hierarchy of needs. Okay. From same Maslow's hierarchy of needs perspective. Same like that, we have data science hierarchy of needs. Okay. So in data science hierarchy of needs, at the top we have AI and machine learning. Okay, AI and deep learning, and then we also in the basically in the below we have machine learning algorithms, and we also have analytics here. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see my marker, but let me try to do this. We have analytics here. We have machine learning algorithms here, and at the pure top we have AI and deep learning. Okay, these are kind of like the higher order tasks or higher order things like that we actually want to realize or that we actually want to achieve, that companies want to achieve. Okay, but in order for people or companies to achieve any of the top parts of the pyramid, okay, in order for companies to achieve any top parts of the pyramid, we should basically have our basic needs met, right? We should have our basic needs met. And the basic needs here are, okay, we should have strong data platform, okay, or strong foundation on the data platform. Okay, the top three, the bottom three, I kind of would call them, okay, I kind of would call them, sorry, So the bottom three, um, I'll call them data platform. Okay, it should be like really strong. Okay, it should have strong foundation. Okay, so once we have the strong foundation of the data platform, okay, then only we can go on achieving all the top parts of the pyramid. Okay, if we don't have the proper data platform, if we don't have proper data, if we don't have all the data we need, or if we don't have like quality data or trustable data, or if we don't have clean data, or if we don't have data that has business meaning to it, then how can we run? How can you run analytics on it, or how can you run machine learning algorithms on it, or how can you do AI and deep learning stuff on it? So you possibly can't do it, right? So that's why you need to have like strong foundation or a very strong data platform. Okay, then only you can focus on others. Okay, and as per some observations, some people have concluded that, or some people have found that 70 to 80% of the time, data scientists actually spend their time doing the bottom three parts are they will be doing a lot of work in the bottom three tiers, okay, instead of them focusing on the top three tiers, okay. So most of the time, actually, like what is normally, if I ask you what does data scientist should do, you will basically say like they should basically train the machine learning, train the ML models, and then run them or tune them and do some kind of experimentation or A/B testing and all that stuff, right? But in some studies, some people have observed that instead of data scientists doing the machine learning stuff and all the predictions and getting the insights of the data, they are actually spending like 70 to 80% of their time in the bottom three tiers. Okay, in the bottom three tiers. Why? Because if the bottom three tiers are not that strong, then you basically can't build the machine learning models, right? So that's why they are spending their time here. But the catch is, unfortunately, like, so let's say like there is some data scientists. So they are mainly trained in their university or in their courses or whatever. They are mainly trained um, to run the machine learning algorithms or models and then do some experimentation and all that stuff. They are not really trying to build a strong foundation for the data platform. Okay, that's a both a different skill set. Data engineering skill set is different, and then data scientist skill set is different. Data scientists are kind of trying to do the machine learning stuff and predictions and all that stuff. Data engineers are kind of trying to get the data out from the data sources. It can be like structured or unstructured or semi-structured data, and then collect it into some place, put it into some place, transform it, clean it, apply business rules, and then enrich it or join it with different data sets to make the meaningful data, and then provide it to the data scientists. And then data scientists can do their machine learning stuff. Okay, so that's how it should be normally. Okay, but unfortunately, in some places, data scientists are spending most of their time in bottom three tiers. Okay, but that's not good. So that's why for any company, if they want to reach their pinnacle, if they want to reach the top of the pyramid, that is AI and deep learning or running machine learning, workloads or analytic workloads, first they should focus on building the strong foundation for the data platform. Okay, and here which roles are most important is data engineer role is most important, and here it also says software developer, but it can also be like data engineer owning the bottom three tiers. Okay, so so if you ask me, the most common roles I saw in like the bottom three tiers is data engineer is one, software developer is one, and then there is also one more role called data infrastructure engineer. Okay, it can also be them as well. So the bottom three TS is mainly owned by these three people. Okay, and they have like a really nice skill set to build strong foundation for the data platform. And then data scientists, analysts, or machine learning engineers have really nice skill set to work on the top three tiers of the data platform. Okay, so here I said it's mainly data scientists, or data analysts, or machine learning engineers, or also research scientists as well. Okay, for the top ones. So that's how the split should be. And again, to summarize, if you want to have, a proper, if you want to have your analytic workloads, or if you want to get value out of the data, and then if you want to do machine learning algorithms and get the predictions out of the data and provide that provide the meaningful and useful data to business people. Um, so first, one should always focus on, laying the strong foundation for the data platform, and that data engineers will be able to do that, obviously. So even though, of course, I know there are some data scientists who are also really good at data engineering stuff, but it's primarily like the bottom three tiers are owned by data engineer and data infrastructure engineers, or software developers, and the top three tiers are owned by like data scientists, analysts, and machine learning engineers or research scientists. So that's what this is mainly about. So I will repeat it again. So so if you want to understand what is the relationship between data engineering and data science, so they both are completely different fields, if you ask me, but they kind of complement each other. Okay. And if you are a data scientist who want to explore your career in data engineering, it would be easy. And if you are a data engineer who want to explore your transform your career into data science, it would be easy, a little bit easy, because essentially you both are already data aware. You both are kind of working with data. So the transition will be a little bit easier. So I would say, of course, you will have a lot of learning to do whenever you want to do the switch. But since both are kind of data aware, it would be kind of easy. But again, I'm saying, but both are completely two different roles and different domains. And then data engineers are mainly laying the foundation for the data platform. And then comes data scientists and analysts who will use the data in the data platform at the serve stage, to get the predictions and out of the data, and then provide value to the business people. Okay. So that's mainly about it. That's mainly about the relationship between data engineering and data science. I hope it provided you with some insight and some clarity on what's the relationship. And please comment down in the comment section if you have any doubts, and if you like this content, so please like the video and share and subscribe, and comment down what you want to watch next, and I will of course try to make the video on it next. And thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll come back to you with one more exciting topic. And thank you.